You know, springtime is a time for renewal, and what better way to renew yourself than with your health and your wealth? Mindy McCulley, County Extension Agent for Family and Consumer Sciences in Barron County, is back with us this week.
That's right.
And Mindy, I know that you've got some specific strategies that can help us be healthier and wealthier, but let's talk about these strategies.
People don't realize how correlated their health and their wealth is. You know, some of the same behaviors that get us into overindulging our diet also get us into overindulging our pocketbook.
Well, that makes sense.
So if we can use some of these strategies, and we'll run through these quickly, but we've got 10 strategies that we can apply both to health and wealth. So let's apply them to our health first.
Okay, let's look at
So
those
first
strategies.
of all, let's think about converting calories into labor. You know, lots of times we don't think about the fact that that 300 calorie dessert is going to mean that we've got to get rid of those 300 calories.
It's all about balance.
So exactly. So if we can think about it in those terms, then we might be inclined to maybe eat half of that 300 calorie dessert, knowing that we're going to have to work off that calorie. So we, convert into labor.
And you know, Minnie, my biggest problem right now is snacking at night.
Exactly.
You know, reading or thinking and doing those things and little nibbly things and reclining at
Exactly.
the same time. So
Yes. So you're not even moving while
not
you're
even moving.
eating those little snacks. That's true. And that is a bad habit that a lot of us get into.
Habit.
A lot of our recommendations that we get from nutritionists say that we really need to, if we're going to calorie load, it needs to be in the morning and not at night.
That makes sense.
that
So
we-
adjust the mindset or get up and move.
Yeah, exactly. Get up and move. That's right. Another strategy that we need to apply to our health is to meet ourselves halfway, to keep feeling deprived. So don't, we talked about the dessert in the first situation. Don't cut it out completely. Cut it in half.
That makes sense.
So meet yourself halfway, and that's a great way to limit maybe some of the calories that we're going to intake. And a third strategy is to downsize and substitute. Once again, we can downsize right there by cutting that cake in half, or we could substitute. You know, you can get a whole lot of fruits for that same 150 calories that you might get if you ate that piece of cake. So, and not to mention all the other benefits that you're going to get from fruits as opposed to a nice piece of refined sugar.
So thinking about my sugar coming from fruit
Right.
instead of just plain
Exactly.
sugar.
Yes, we get those natural sugars along with lots of vitamins and minerals. So, a fourth strategy is just to say no to supersizing. You know, we pull through that drive-through and they say, well, would you like to upsize that? And we think, well, for 20, 30, 40 cents more, why not? Well, there's lots of reasons why not. First of all, we don't need those extra calories. Probably the regular size is twice the calories that we need anyway. So if we upsize, then we're really going to be adding on extra calories. So we're not really getting a very good bang for our buck.
Right.
We are spending a whole lot more of our calories for just a little bit more money. So it's not a good trade-off.
One of the things I think is great about the current trend to, again, look at cost is the dollar menu
Exactly.
concept.
Almost every place has a dollar menu.
Yes, in some form or fashion. That's a great way to downsize.
Exactly, and the portions are more reasonable.
Right.
They really fit in with what we should be eating. And then, of course, you spend $3 and you get a better sized meal.
You get enough. You get enough.
Exactly.
And maybe you can afford to have your fries that way and
That's
just eat
right.
fewer.
Exactly.
As an option there
That's
too.
exactly
Those are
right.
great strategies.
A fifth strategy that we need to have is to track our current habits. If we don't know where we're eating, what we're eating each day, then how can we really make any adjustments to our plans? So track those behaviors. And I'm not saying do this for the rest of your life because that would become quite tedious. But, if we could do it for a week or so, or maybe even 2 weeks, write down everything you eat and don't lie. You're only going to be hurting yourself if you lie. So be realistic, write down everything that goes in your mouth for, a period of time so you can find out where, maybe you'll find out that the evenings are the worst time for you, and that's when
true.
you're eating most of your calories, and so you can make adjustments then. But if you don't know where you're starting from, then you don't have any clue of where you need to go.
You forget.
Exactly.
Right. So writing down your snacks, that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to start
Yes,
tonight.
we're going to
write
have
them
to,
down.
right, and not just your snacks, everything you eat. Everything. And then a sixth strategy is to compare yourself to the expert recommendations. If you don't know what people recommend, what the experts recommend you should be eating as far as fruits and vegetables, then how do you know if you're getting what you need? So, of course, now the campaign is More Matters with fruits and vegetables. The more we can eat, the better, but at least 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. Not every week, every day.
And we might say that might sound like a lot, but really when you look at some of the portion sizes, that's not really a lot.
Your serving sizes are not anywhere in comparison to what our portion sizes often are. So
Exactly.
So think about that, because a half cup of vegetables really isn't a whole lot.
Right.
So keep that in mind. Other expert recommendations are your BMI, your body mass index. You might not know where you fit on that scale, so you can check that out on the internet. There are lots of charts, and you can even calculate where you should be. So that is a good tool.
Is there another way to calculate that without having to use technology? Or
Yes, there is, and there's a formula.
And it's complicated,
You need
I
to
can
call
tell.
your extension office
Call
and
your
get
extension
that.
office. There you go, and they'll help you
Yes,
with
there is. There is a formula. Our seventh strategy is that we need to learn some standards. So we need to know what the standard serving size is. If you don't know that 3 ounces of meat is about the size of the palm of your hand, then you need to kind of get familiar with what those standards are. And also how many of those servings you need each day. MyPyramid.gov is a great place to go find what your recommended serving size and, of course, how many you need to be eating each day.
And you can individualize those types of plans. It even
Exactly.
gives you some ways to start cutting calories there.
Right.
So if you're into technology, it's a great website.
And then put good habits on automatic pilot is our 8th strategy. It's easy to go to the pantry and pull out a bag of chips and just eat them, and we don't
Oh, it
even
is.
realize we're kind of on automatic pilot when we do that. Well, if we can cut up some, fresh celery and carrots and maybe some green peppers and keep them in little baggies in your refrigerator, then you can go and pull them out just as easily as you can go pull out those chips. So make it an automatic thing, keep it there, it's available, your kids will appreciate it, you will appreciate it. Fruits and vegetables the same way, we can do that. So then maybe you'll be less tempted to, snack on something at the end of the day.
Oh, I know it, having it there. Or
And
even a can of mandarin oranges. I'll just give an
Exactly,
example.
yeah.
It's easy to open and
All
very
of
simple
those
to do.
sorts of things. And, marketers are picking up on this too. You'll see all sorts of individual packages of apples already cut up in the grocery store. It's like, how much easier are they trying to make it for us?
That's
we
true.
can
And
go
how
out
much more
do that.
expensive that really
Yes,
is.
that is quite expensive, exactly. That's not going to apply to our wealth, but, if they've got the idea, we can do it ourselves and do it a whole lot cheaper.
Very quickly.
Our 9th strategy is to control intake and outgo. So, of course, with our health, that's really easy to figure out. We need to control the calories that go in, and we really need to make sure that we are expending those calories in the
Right.
form of exercise, because we do need to exercise. And exercise doesn't mean that you have to sweat every time. It just means that you're getting up and moving. So
Absolutely. So movement becomes the key there.
Exactly.
With that one.
Exactly.
Well, Mindy, I'm looking forward to hearing how these same strategies translate into more money in your pocket too. We've heard how they deal with health. Let's see how they deal with wealth. So stay with us. We'll be right back to share those tips in a different way.